نبتغي الدنيا فقد هجرنا دنيانا جئنا لنسر الخير فانصرنا يا مولانا لا نبتغي الدنيا فقد هجرنا دنيانا من حنينا أو ركعنا.
الحمد لله وحده وصلاة وسلاما على من لا نبي بعده. All praise is due to Allah alone. May His blessings and peace be upon the final prophet. After this, you are welcome to the DarunNoor Educast, a platform that brings you impactful Islamized insight and tips designed to enlighten your mind and elevate your productivity. I'm your host, 𝘗𝘬𝘧𝘪𝘯𝘦. Let's get started. In the first episode, we discussed the philosophical view that human beings are naturally born empty, yet equipped with cognitive tools. This means each person carries the responsibility, directly or indirectly, of filling that emptiness. In this second episode, we will uncover another layer of engaging insight. We will reflect together on how the information we take in shapes us, and how it equally reflects in our refinement and productivity. Fundamentally, the two categories of information we consume daily, from birth to death, are either verbal, that is, what comes through words, spoken or written, and also experiential, that is, what comes through direct experiences and encounters. In other words, the shaping of our nurtured expressions is an input-output process where we consume information and express its outcome in words and actions. With the realization that information is the only input our mind takes in and then process into the words we speak and the actions we carry out, reflective people tend to be conscious and careful about the kind of information they consume. They intentionally guard their fragile minds, and these fragile minds of human beings are the vessels where information is stored and processed likewise. So they guard their fragile mind from anything that could corrupt them. The Prophet ﷺ, in highlighting the importance of information as the content which we feed our minds with, and the impact of the input quality of the output, said, إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ, referring to the mind, وَإِذَا فَسَدَتْ فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ, meaning the soundness of the mind shapes the soundness of the body's expressions, and when it is corrupted, the whole body reflects that corruption. This hadith makes it clear that our conduct and behavior are not inborn, but are shaped by the information we absorb. Take for instance, someone that recognizes Allah's sole right to worship, practices honesty, and upholds rules of law. All these stem from what that very particular person has taken in. Conversely, disbelief in Allah, manipulative tendency, or engaging in mob justice, passively or actively in the name of religious duty, likewise arise from the content one consumes. These indicate that our outward expression, whether it is virtuous or corrupt, is a mirror of the information we have internalized over time. Put simply, you are what you consume. So we have to be very intentional about what we allow into our mind and heart. Because information plays a fundamental role in shaping individuals, Islam attaches great importance to it, particularly in three main areas. First, in respect to verification. Second, in respect to proper understanding. And third, in respect to responsible handling, whether you handle the information for yourself or on behalf of others. Therefore, it is essential to always approach all information through the lens of holistic Islamic principles, since the Quran and Sunnah are the ultimate reference point in a Muslim's life. Any information you may consider worthy of internalizing and acting upon must not contradict the contextual guidance of the Quran and Sunnah. Islamic values on information management not only provide clear principles for verifying facts by establishing standards for truthfulness, evidence, and authenticity, it also offers guidance for developing contextual understanding and sound perspective that enable one to interpret events, report, and ideas with clarity and safety. Beyond the verification and understanding, the Quran and Sunnah further instruct us on the responsible handling of information, both in its application and in its dissemination to others. As we reflect together on the importance of information management in Islam, it becomes necessary to turn inward and engage ourselves in self-assessment. We should intentionally ask ourselves two refinement-focused questions. The first, how do we understand the threefold responsibility of information management in Islam? Remember, the threefold responsibility of information management is about verification, understanding, and responsible handling. So now, the refinement-focused question is, how well do we understand these three responsibilities, these three procedures we had to uphold when we are dealing with information, and to what extent do we consciously live by them? This is the first refinement focused question I want to leave with you. How well do we understand the threefold responsibility of information management, and to what extent do we consciously live by them? That is the first one. The second question I would like to leave with us is that how can we unlearn the corrupt information that has negatively shaped our personality over time, and how do we intentionally replace them with constructive Islamically guided alternatives? In summary, the key lesson from this brief episode is that each individual bears full responsibility for managing their own information. The principles one apply in verifying, understanding, and handling information ultimately shape one's decision, character, and actions. In other words, you are simply a reflection of the information you have chosen to consume and equally accountable of the corresponding decisions and actions. Lastly, you should remember that refinement is not a journey to absolute perfection. It is a commitment to mindfulness, steady growth, and unlocking your productivity in the Islamic way. I hope you find this episode both engaging and thought-provoking. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again by Allah's will, don't forget to subscribe and share. Barakallahu fikum.
لنشر الخير فانصرنا يا مولانا لا نبتغي الدنيا فقد هجرنا دنيانا جئنا لنشر الخير فانصرنا يا مولانا لا نبتغي الدنيا